Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Marcus Drummer, for starting things off for us. We're going to talk a little more about you and a little later in this event. But thank you for everybody being here today. And before we start, my name is Miles McDougall. I'm the MLA for Calgary Fish Creek and chairman of the Calgary Caucus. It's a privilege to be here today. Before we start, I want to acknowledge that Calgary is on Treaty 7 territory, home to the Blackfoot Confederacy of the Siksika, Kainai, and Piikani, as well as the Tsuut'ina and Stoney Nakoda nations of Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Wesley. This area has deep importance to the people of the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. I'm very honored to join Minister of Arts and Culture and Status of Women, Tanya Lebeau, Board Vice Chair of the Alberta Federation for the Arts, Andrew Moskar, President and CEO of the National Music Centre, and Alberta's incredibly talented artist in residence, Sharon Rose Kootenay. This afternoon's announcement means a great deal for Alberta's vibrant arts centre and the many Albertans who work in and participate in and experience the arts every day. To kick off this announcement, please join me in welcoming the Honourable Tanya Furr, Minister of Arts and Culture and Status of Women, to the podium.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Miles, for that introduction. I am thrilled to be here at the King Eddie to share exciting news about arts funding. In some way, shape, or form, the arts have an impact on every Albertan, and we want more Albertans to be able to experience the arts. Because Alberta artists form the basis of the cultural fabric of our province, and our lives are richer for it. We are putting arts funding on center stage because arts benefits us all with jobs, entertainment, and new ways of understanding our world. The arts brings humanity to our everyday lives. If passed, Budget 2024 will give all Albertans more access to art as creators, as professionals, and as an audience. Through grants for artists and art organizations and its art collection, the Alberta Foundation for the Arts is the government agency that brings the arts to Albertans. Alberta is taking a responsible approach to investing in the arts. A gradual funding increase to the arts over 3 years will bring provincial arts funding to record levels with more than $40 million annually, and brings us closer to the national average of arts funding across the country. That's almost $40 million in total provincial funding, not including the millions in community grants available to nonprofit arts organizations. Included in this funding is an increased investment to the Alberta Foundation for the Arts of $4.5 million in the first year, and growing to more than $39 million within 3 years. This investment will allow the foundation to increase access and circulation of the art collection, ensuring Albertans can enjoy the collection firsthand. The foundation manages one of the most active provincial art collections in Canada. It has more than 9,400 pieces and is the largest public collection of visual artworks by Alberta artists. For example, did you know the foundation has 21 artworks on display in the south and north campuses of Bow Valley College, just a 10-minute walk away? You can also find works from the collection in the Jubilee Auditoria, McDougall Centre, or ministers' offices, to name just a few places. When I became minister, I had the opportunity to tour the AFA's collection in Edmonton. It is incredible. It's filled with works of renowned artists. The art collection needs to be shared so people in Alberta can enjoy art across the province. It shouldn't be behind closed doors, locked away in storage. We should do what we can so that all Albertans can enjoy these breathtaking works of art that are so essential to the Alberta story. As I said, when I had an opportunity to tour it and pull out row after row of amazing art, my thought was this needs to be shared with more Albertans in all four corners of the province. And this increased funding to the AFA is just one example of what those funds will be used towards. I'm excited that this announcement will allow the foundation to increase access and circulation of the arts collection, ensuring Albertans can enjoy the collection firsthand. We hope to share the news of even more exhibits coming soon. The arts play a significant role in enhancing the quality of life for Albertans. Through grants and other programs to artists and art organizations in all corners of the province, artists can pursue their passions and make it a career. This supports economic development and retention of a skilled workforce because we want artists to stay in Alberta to share their talents and grow our creative and cultural industries. The arts also foster positive health and well-being, such as a pilot program we supported at the South Health Campus here in Calgary, where patients and their families were able to relax and listen to musicians to support their recovery. We are also thrilled about supporting a new initiative through our crowdfunding program, STAR, Special Talents in Art and Recreation. STAR is using music, movement, and instruments to engage youth with cognitive disabilities to further benefit their current abilities and strengths in the performing arts. Alberta artists are telling our stories to the rest of the country, the world, and to generations of Albertans. And they are essential to sharing our unique culture, worldviews, and history through countless mediums. Our lives are enriched when the arts thrive, and this funding will make sure the arts are supported for the benefit of all Albertans, young and old. And when we build better communities through art, we make Alberta the best place to live, to work, and to raise a family. I encourage everyone to participate in the arts, whether it's as a professional, a hobbyist in a community class, or an audience member. There is so much wonderful art created here in Alberta and so much more to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Next, to say a few words about this announcement and what it means for the Alberta Foundation of the Arts is Board Vice Chair LeBeau. LeBeau is a successful entrepreneur and an active volunteer in community cultural events and exhibits. Please welcome LeBeau.
Thank you, Miles. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am deeply grateful to our esteemed Minister of Art, Culture and Status of Women for the announcement regarding the increased budget allocation for Alberta Foundation for Arts. This commitment reflects a profound understanding of the vital role that arts and culture play in our society. The Alberta Foundation for Arts play an essential role in fostering and enhancing the arts scene in Alberta, acknowledging its significant impact on the province's quality of life. As a provincial corporation under government of Alberta, the AFA is tasked with supporting and nurturing the arts through the art grant, funding the individual artist and art organization, facilitating the growth of art sector. Operating under the guidance of Alberta Foundation for Arts Act of 1991, the AFA reports to the Minister of Art, Culture and Status of Women, aligning its effort with government object in advancing the arts landscape in the province. The arts are not just a form of entertainment. They're reflections of our shared humanity, connecting us across differences and enriching our lives in profound ways. With this additional funding, we have opportunity to further nurture creativity, support emerging artists, and ensure that cultural expression thrive in every corner of Alberta. I am honored to serve as Vice Chair of Alberta Foundation for Arts, and I pledge to work tirelessly alongside our dedicated team and partners to steward this funding with integrity and vision. Thank you to the Minister of Art, Culture and Status of Women for this pivotal investment in arts. Thank you.
Thank you, LeBeau. Our next speaker is Andrew Moskar, President and CEO of the National Music Center. As the founder of the National Music Center some 20 years ago, Mr. Moskar barely needs an introduction. He's a key figure helping develop artists and youth music education programs. He's also co-founder and chairman of West Anthem, the Alberta Music Cities Initiatives, a nonprofit organization advocating about opportunities to develop music city-friendly strategies in our province. So with no further ado, thank you, Andrew.
Hi, everybody. Minister, thank you so much for this wonderful and exciting announcement about increasing funding for the Alberta Foundation for the Arts. How great news is that? Let's give it up. It's fantastic. Yeah. Well, LeBeau, thank you so much for that introduction or for your comments, and also thank you very much for your introduction. Just to recap a little bit about the National Music Center. Over 10 years ago, while we were constructing this very building that you're standing in today, the National Music Center, as was mentioned just a minute ago, co-founded the Alberta Music Cities Initiative, along with the Scotland Foundation here in Calgary. Later on, this initiative became known as West Anthem, and together with many partners across Alberta, we began the work of creating a music strategy for Alberta. There wasn't one. Throughout this time, we worked closely with the government of Alberta and municipalities to help Alberta see the potential of music and to develop strategies to make Alberta a more music-friendly region with the vision that it could someday be recognized as the music leader in Western Canada, a leader in Canada, more broadly speaking, in music, and a recognized leader around the world, along with other great arts and music cities and regions. Through this work, we detailed the economic and cultural value of the Alberta music ecosystem through the production and release of 4 detailed reports between 2014 and 2023. These reports captured a snapshot of the music ecosystem in the province for the first time, the data in terms of jobs, economic output, as well as future strategies to harness the creative capital of Alberta's music sector and industry in the future so that we can continue to work together to create vibrant communities, create new jobs in the sector, attract and retain talent from other sectors who view civic vibrancy as an essential to relocating or setting up a business in Calgary or Alberta, and to fostering new year-round tourism opportunities. So since opening the new National Music Center Studio Bell in 2016, the National Music Center has been a catalyst locally, regionally, and nationally for creating jobs in the music sector, supporting many, many artists from Alberta in a variety of programs and services that we offer here at NMC, and has contributed significantly to the revitalization of Calgary's East Village and emerging cultural and entertainment district by attracting to date nearly 1 million visitors to East Village since opening the National Music Center in 2016. I would also be remiss by not acknowledging the great Marcus Trummer, who started here at National Music Center in a program called Jam Club many years ago. And now Marcus not only has gone on to win awards, but he's got an agent and he's getting gigs as a professional musician. So I just wanted to recognize Marcus for your incredible development as an artist. We were here at National Music Center one of the first revitalization projects to be announced in 2006. And the King Eddie, where you're standing today, was really the focal point because of the land where it's situated on and the music legacy that it contained for many, many generations as our location choice for building this new center. So today, almost 20 years later, many new infrastructure and housing projects have followed in this very neighborhood. You know many of them: Central Library Platform, the new Convention Center, and many more to come. National Music Center created Canada's first permanent year-round home for Canada's inclusive national music story, and provided a space for the first time in Canadian history to house 4 of Canada's National Music Halls of Fame right here in Alberta. Establishing a hub for music in Alberta for Canada from this very location in Calgary has created so many opportunities for Alberta artists and creatives, and has helped to amplify Alberta's music ecosystem. In addition to the nearly 1 million visitors that have come through our doors since 2016, we have also welcomed over 60,000 K-6 students in the programs. Over 3,500 artists, the majority from Alberta, have either performed on NMC stages or have worked in one of our creative spaces, such as our recording studios. The National Music Center's digital reach has also grown to encompass over 62,000 followers. And some of our content that we've created here have been viewed by over 3.3 million people around the world since opening in 2016. National Music Center has brought international attention to Alberta's music ecosystem by hosting the first ever Alberta Music Cities Convention in 2022, which brought global thought leaders to this province to talk about Alberta's future in music. Throughout many of these partnerships, we've also helped to attract big major music events to the city, including the Canadian Country Music Awards, the Juno Awards, and the Canadian Music Hall of Fame ceremony, all of which have helped to amplify and shine the light on Alberta's local music scene. These impacts would not have been possible without the past and continued support of many funders, especially the government of Alberta, who has made consistent investments in bringing the National Music Centre to life. And these investments continue to make an impact similar to the ones that I shared with you today since we opened in 2016. Furthermore, we are very grateful that the government of Alberta recognizes the transformative cultural and economic benefits that music and the arts collectively bring to our province, and are delighted to be here today to enthusiastically support the increase in funding to the Alberta Foundation for the Arts in this upcoming budget year. Bolstering support for artists, creatives, and arts organizations such as National Music Centre and so many great organizations and artists across this province will inspire greater artistic expression and creativity and the audiences they serve. At a time when so much is changing in our world and in the arts sector specifically. This investment will also help to create much needed vibrancy in our downtowns, as well as creating and sustaining jobs in the sector, and leave a lasting impression for everyone living in the province and for those watching and visiting this great province from across Canada and from around the world. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, and have a great rest of the afternoon.
Thank you, Andrew. Our final speaker this afternoon is Alberta's artist in residence, Sharon Rose Kootenay. Sharon is an Indigenous artist whose stunning beadwork tell a story of cultural identity and place. And I noticed she's wearing some of her work today, and it is beautiful as well. She's a member of the Alberta Craft Council and received the 2021 Alberta Craft Council's Biennial Craft Excellence Award, along with her collaborator, Jason Symington. She is also a founding member of the Aboriginal Arts Council of Alberta, which facilitates traditional art instruction and culture retreats to Indigenous youth and women in Alberta. Sharon.
Happy day. This is so awesome. I was so excited to see that announcement, and I'm really excited to be able to come in and speak with you a little bit about it. Arts is so important. It is the center of my world. I'm an artist, arts educator. I'm a mentor. I'm an active participant, very enthusiastic, and I have to say I want to come back to this particular venue. I've heard a lot about it. We have the commercial hotel, which kind of is the counterpoint, and I'll be there on Saturday listening to Mr. Steve McQueen, who happens to be from Calgary. Anyhow, as stated, the significant increase in arts funding will ensure that Alberta artists and arts administrators and all creatives will remain relevant and feel supported, and the arts in Alberta will continue to flourish and actually increase quite a bit. So I was very honored and privileged to be the Alberta Artist in Residence Arts Ambassador for this past year, and my year is actually drawing to a close on March 31st. And so I'd like to kind of share a few of my reflections about the arts in the province. It seems to me that that of all the ministries in Alberta, this one is the most important. And I'm very, very pleased to have Minister Furr as our minister. She's a wonderful woman. She's actually an arts enthusiast and a musician, so I've heard. I don't think we could have a better minister. Arts in our province has the capacity to bring us all together in celebration and solidarity. The arts enable our voices to come to the table, to come to the stage, and our creative endeavors, from our long hours in the studio, we get to bring them to the galleries and to public art venues. If anything, the arts helps us to recognize our commonalities and understand our differences. And we get to they bring us together, and we get to experience and get to know each other a little bit better. So on this wonderful day, I join all my colleagues in from arts education to gallery administrators to heritage interpreters and those in healthcare that support healing and wellness through joy and therapeutic programs. I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. And I do have a gift. Thank you. So yeah, for you. So as an Indigenous artist, we like to welcome people into our homes, and my project for the Arts in Residency year was called Pitigway, which in Cree means welcome, and welcome to my home. So I was thinking about you, and I love your name, so I would like to invite you for a little cup of tea, moose hide tea.
Oh my gosh.
It's a beaded moose hide, and there's little fur fronds on it, especially for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
It's my pleasure to make that. Yeah, and then a little tiny bit of tea too for you. And so thank you so much. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to know you and to see how hard you work for us.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. So this concludes the speech part of the day, but we have two other things. We're going to have a Q&A session, and we're going to have Marcus Trummer come back up and perform for us. Before we start the Q&A section, I just maybe a couple words about Marcus. Marcus is from Calgary and is gathering, as was mentioned before, some critical acclaim. In 2022, he received the Blues Recording of the Year at the YYC Music Awards and earned a nomination for New Artist of the Year at the Maple Blues Awards in Toronto. Marcus is also the 2023 winner of the Telluride Blues Challenge. So I expect we'll be hearing a lot more from him in the future. So before we get him back on stage, first we'll go to Q&A session, and I'll call up our press secretary, Garen Kohler, to moderate the Q&A portion of the event.
All right, thank you very much. Seeing no one on the line, is there any questions from the floor? No questions from the floor, going once, twice. All right, I'd like to invite Marcus back up to the stage to sing us out. Thank you very much.
So not to hear from you. I hope you're doing well. Even though the word we always knew might have gone ahead. These days no one seem to know the truth. It's so tough to tell what anybody really wants to do. If they're trying to pin you down or behind, will never do you wrong. So one more thing I gotta say now before I go.